Podcast. I'm your host, Sabrina Nordland, and every week I bring you a weekly rundown of the girl group chats I'm in. I find the latest trends, brands, and gossip that the girls are talking about and act as your ear to the ground, telling you what the girls are on about. And this week we are doing what I have been bringing to the girly group chats I'm in, my June hits and misses. This used to be what I've been on about this month. Now we're calling it hits and misses. The concept remains the same. I'm telling you what I've been on about, but more in a sense of what I've been loving, what I've been hating, what's the vibe for June. My first hit for June is dopamine dressing. So I started June with a new spring jacket from Magasin du Nord. It's cheetah print. It's perfect. And then I got this lime green cardi from Urban Outfitters and I was set. All month I've been mixing and matching colors, prints, and textures. Now I used to be a strictly dark academia styled girly. It suited Edinburgh well. But when I started outgrowing that style and it didn't really feel like it suited me, I really struggled to find a style that actually felt me. I couldn't quite get to this inexplicable vision that I had for myself. Dopamine dressing, or the concept of dopamine dressing, really only got popular. At least I only became aware of it since then, maybe in the last 2 years or so, 3 years maybe even 5 on TikTok, who knows. But pre-TikTok era, pre-pandemic, I was very dark academia. It wasn't really feeling me. As we got into the pandemic, I really wanted to wear a lot more color, I think, and I just wanted to feel more expressive, I guess, in what I was wearing. And dopamine dressing, I'm just throwing this term around, basically means just like dressing to make you happy, to give you a dopamine hit, but it usually, you'll see it associated with people who like wear all orange or wear all yellow or wear all lime green or wear tons of funky patterns. And I'm definitely not that far. That would stress me out probably more than it would bring me dopamine. But as a concept, I think it's really helped me buy things that previously I would have thought were like too out there. Previous to the pandemic and, having a job and a career, I really had the 30 wears mentality, which I still have. But before I had money, everything, not only was it something I had to wear 30 times, but it was something that had to go with everything else that I owned. And that meant like a cheetah print spring jacket. I would have been like, well, it's not going to go with everything. Actually, cheetah print spring jacket, I've yet to find an outfit it doesn't work with. That thing's so cute. So dopamine dressing was a big hit for me. My first miss of the month, though, was running in general, and especially my run club, or what I call the run social. Yeah, so the run social, Sunday mornings in Edinburgh, in Leith, where I live, we go for a run, such a little run, 4K, 4.5K, and then we go for coffee. And I don't think I've done any in June. Partially, I had plans one morning. I'm going to be on this podcast called the Matcha Morning Podcast. So I went to record that instead, and I thought I could do with taking a week off. And then I was going to go camping one day, and then I didn't. But then it ended up not happening anyways because I still didn't want to do it. And then the same thing happened this last weekend. I went up 3 Munros on Saturday, and I just was like, I can't run on Sunday. Almost all of my run socials were canceled in June, and there really is no one to blame but me. The thing is, it wasn't just that I was doing other things. The fatigue hit me really hard this month. So I wasn't just missing run socials, I missed most of my runs. And my usual week includes 4 runs in it. That's been the way that I've been running. That's been my routine all year this year. And that's probably part of the problem for why I was so tired this month. That was shaved back to just 1 run a week this whole month. And while that's super unusual for me, I just wasn't feeling great. And I'm considering it just like my summer holiday from running. I feel like 4 runs a week for 6 months or for 5 months this year, that's a lot. And I haven't had a proper month off from running, even after I ran the Paris Marathon. So now I'm 4 weeks out from doing the Scottish Half Marathon. I had planned to really train for that and shave a good 10 minutes off of my PB, but now I'm just going to party pace it. I just want to get back to fit enough that I can go out and enjoy that. So miss for this month, hopefully a hit for next. Back on the positives, a huge hit for me this month has been drugstore beauty products. They say when your salary increases, so does your spending. And mine has all gone to higher end beauty products. The first was the Way Thick Hair Shampoo and Conditioner. It smells amazing. It's sulfates free. It's pure luxury. Then came the Hourglass mascara, the Vive eyeshadows, and Dior lipstick. And who have I become? I needed to replace my whey conditioner this month, and listen, I thought enough is enough. I usually buy the big bulk. Like I have some, they look like soap dispensers, and I can't for the life of me remember the word for it right now, but I got those from eBay, and then I buy big bulk replacements of my whey shampoo and whey conditioner. And then I fill those up, keep those in my shower. But listen, it costs like £50 just for the conditioner replacement or just for the shampoo replacement. So this month I had to replace my whey conditioner. Side note, I found it in my closet. I actually didn't need to replace it. But I thought enough is enough. I'm not spending £50 on that right now. Who do we think we are? You cannot do this forever. So instead I was in Boots and I saw the Elvive by L'Oreal hyaluronic conditioner. My friend had just recommended it to me and I was like, oh my god, £3.45? £3.45. I'm just going to say it one more time. £3.45. That's how much it cost me. It's a lot less conditioner than the £50 I spend on the whey stuff, but I mean, maybe if you multiplied it, it would be like £15 versus 20 or versus 50, and that's still insane. And you know what? It's great. Is it as good as the whey conditioner? Absolutely not. But it's definitely good enough. So then when I needed to replace my KVD tattoo liner, I went for an old favorite instead, one that I used all throughout of high school, and that is the Maybelline tattoo liner. It is £8.99. Guess what? It's great. So hit me up with your favorite drugstore beauty products in the comments, please. Going back to my roots, I want to discover some more wonderful drugstore beauty stuff. I've got the e.l.f. primer. I need to replace my primer very shortly, and instead of getting another Vive one, which I think are about £30, I got the e.l.f. one. It was nearly almost sold out. It was like the last one left, so I took that as a good sign, but I'll report back. Another hit in June was romanticizing life in Edinburgh. The June sun took me out of my strict routine and into the city more. One Friday, it was due to be 25 degrees Celsius, and I decided to bin my Friday gym session and hit the beach for a pre-work swim instead. I live a very, very routined life. I enjoy that usually, but this month I really broke out of that routine to try and spend more time in Edinburgh and in making the most of the wonderful environment that I find myself in. So that morning I cycled over to Wardy Bay and I swam amongst the dogs and the wild swimmers, and it was a gorgeous, gorgeous it was a gorgeous, gorgeous morning. And then on yet another sunny day, I decided it was time to do my quarterly trip into Old Town. I was due to meet a friend in the afternoon and it was sunny, and I thought, instead of just hanging out here until I have to leave, I'm going to go into Old Town. So I hopped on a bus. I tried a new Southbridge hotspot called Haiti. Got a matcha. I bought a frame from the Red Door Gallery for a print that I have. If you're watching this on YouTube, check that out. Very cute. The print in that I got previously, that is not from the Red Door Gallery. That's a custom painting of my dog. Now, these breaks from routine have reminded me why I should feel so lucky to live here and make the most of it more often. I think I had gotten in a bit of I guess I had fallen out of love with living in Edinburgh. I think I'm still a little bit out of love living in Edinburgh right now, but I'm enjoying it a bit more, and that has followed in line with protecting my peace, which has been another hit. When I moved here 7 years ago, I knew a grand total of one person, so outside of my flat, I spent most of my time alone. And now I'm lucky enough to have a gorgeous husband who I love and I love spending time with. I have a gorgeous kitty who I spend most of my time with, and I have many gorgeous friends. And in all of that hubbub, I've lost the art of spending time alone. This June, I've definitely taken some time back from the go, go, go lifestyle that I usually live. I'm spending more time at home with my cat, with my husband, with myself. Those solo days spent at the beach, at the city center, cafes, you just can't beat that. Sometimes it is just as nice to sit at a cafe with a journal or a book as it is to sit at a cafe with a friend. And when I'm just hopping from one friend to the next and constantly involved in other people's lives, I think I spend not enough time being involved in my own life. So this month I have really invested in that, shall we say, invested my time in that. And yeah, it's been really enjoyable coming back to myself a little bit. But a huge miss for this month is not spending my whole salary in one go. See above for the drugstore shopping. I mean, you can't say I'm not trying right now But when I got paid at the end of May, I immediately booked my summer holiday with my husband. That's in July. Yes, we left it quite late. Then when I got paid at the end of June, I booked a holiday to go to a friend's wedding in September. These holidays are killing me, okay? I definitely need to get better at booking way ahead for a holiday or setting some cash aside every month to spend on holidays instead of just eating into my monthly salary. But right now I'm in a bit of a bad cycle of just like putting off big payments or big purchases like a holiday until I get paid, and then I get paid and I'm like, okay, let's book that now. So I'm gonna work on that some more, but if you have other thrifty tips, please let me know. Now let's talk a bit more beauty. I have been doing the curly girl method for waves and general hair health. This is a big hit for me this month. Listen, I bleached my hair around 3 years ago now, and I've been getting regular bleach/balayage since then. So what I'm trying to say is the ends of my hair are fried. And at the beginning of June, I looked back at some photos from my trip to Copenhagen last June, and major shock, my hair was exactly the same length. Now, my hair grows quickly. So I have never in a year had the same length of hair when I've been trying to grow it out. That's crazy to me. So I've gone back to my pre-bleach hair care routine. When my hair isn't fried from bleach, it's pretty wavy. So if I do the curly girl method, it gets really shiny and wavy, and that's how my hair was before I chopped it and bleached it. I stopped doing it when I bleached it because it was like a waste of time. My hair was no longer wavy. Why would I do the curly girl method? But in my last attempt to save my hair from breakage, I started doing it again, and I think it's working. My hair is wavy if I do it. It feels healthier, it feels shinier, and yeah, my hair will actually be wavy if I do the curly girl method and I just let it be how it is. So that's a sign to me that nature is healing, my hair is healing, and hopefully it will actually keep growing for a while. I'm also going to space out how often I get it bleached because I think that might help. A miss in the beauty world is the Hourglass tubing mascara that I have been using for years. So around 2 years ago now, I tried the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara, and I loved it. It is a tubing mascara, so it doesn't budge in the rain, which is a huge win in Scotland, but it comes off under hot water. I've repurchased it countless times, probably 3 or 4 or 5 now, but this month I've fallen out of love, and it coincides with me using up my last repurchase. Every once in a while, each beauty will do like a carnival or something where you get a bunch of like luxury samples if you spend a certain amount. So I always just repurchase products that I love. So I'd repurchased the Hourglass tubing mascara, and just as I was falling out of love with it, I had one more that I'd already purchased to use. So I've got a fresh tube. I'm using that now, but I just have found that it doesn't last a long day. And I don't know if I just didn't have a ton of long days when I fell in love with it, or if the formula has changed, but either way, I'm finding that if I wear it out all day, it starts to flake off into my eyes, which is really annoying when I've got contacts in, which I usually do if I'm out for a long day. Or if it's not flaking off into my eyes, when I go to take it off at the end of the day, it's like kind of dusty. It's just really gross, and I'm over it. So please send mascara recommendations, and if you have drugstore mascara recommendations, even better. Now we're ending on a bit of a low note here. I've left a miss for last. The last miss of my month has been The Buccaneers, Season 2. And to think, only a few weeks ago I was calling for viewing parties for this show. I binged Season 1 in June, and I loved it, so that could be a hit. And I was so excited to watch Season 2, and we're only 3 episodes in now. So maybe I'm just calling it early, but this season can get in the bin. It wasn't a great show to begin with, okay? I'll admit that. But it was enjoyable brain candy watching. Mindless, pretty to look at, silly dramatic plot lines. It was fun. And this season is just like a bit much. It's like it's regurgitated itself in a carnival sort of way, and it's getting to me. More than anything, I don't really like the characters anymore. Like, I can deal with clunky writing or really silly plot lines like, oh, I met you yesterday and now we're in love. But when that storyline goes on too long, you really start to be like, but why? Why are you so obsessed with this guy that you've met like 4 times? Like, I just don't get it. So I'll keep watching it for now. It's a fun, girly show, but I am not enjoying watching it. Maybe it's just a slow start to the season. I don't know. And that brings me to the end of my hits and misses for June. Thank you for listening, and thank you to everybody who has given us a 5-star review since I last asked on Spotify, or if you've subscribed on Substack. I do see them all, and I really appreciate it, and I still get a little ping of excitement every time I get an email that I've got a new subscriber on Substack, or whenever I check in on Spotify and I've got a new 5-star rating. It's just really nice feeling. So if you haven't already, please do. It is the main way that you can share the love, and the love is so appreciated. You will be getting hits and misses for every month moving forward. It is replacing what I've been on about. And tune in again next week for your regularly scheduled What the Girls Are On About podcast and column on Substack. Okay, bye.